What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another WNBA video. We have ourselves a two-game slate here today for Sunday, August 31st. Now, if you're new to the channel, typically I'd break down each and every one of these games. We talk about which way that I was leaning as far as the points and the spread. We'd go over player props if I found those in those games as well. Today, we're going to do things a little bit differently. I've just had a crazy jam-packed weekend, man. Just have not had enough time to break these games down fully and make a full-length video like that. So we're just going to go over my favorite plays on the day. But before we dive into those, we need to jump over to the Guy Boss of Sports website. It's where I put in my final plays every day after each of these videos, so make sure you check that out. It'll be down there in the pinned comment. But we need to go ahead and recap our plays from yesterday. Let's see what we put in and how that ended up going down. And we have back-to-back losing days, unfortunately, man. Saturday was not good to us either. We took the Sun in the first half +8, and they do not hit for us. You know, they were hanging tough with the Lynx there in the first quarter, and then they just fall apart from there. We took Veronica Burton over 19.5 points and assist. She cashes this in the first half for us, our only play that was just like no sweat whatsoever. Ariel Atkins over 3.5 rebounds. I think she lands at 2. Not a good look there, man. And then Alyssa Thomas over 34.5 points, plus rebounds, plus assists. In the 3 prior head-to-heads, she had at least 40. She won't even come close to that number. So we don't cash on that one either. 1 and 3 on the night. So yeah, like I said, man, after a nice little 9-2 run, we have back-to-back losing nights. So what wouldn't you know, man? That's just how janky and crazy and wild this WNBA season has been this year. So let's get back on the winning side today, man. Looking for a bounce back, looking for some redemption. Let's have ourselves a good Sunday afternoon. So we'll go ahead and jump over to Outlier, guys. We'll go ahead and break down this first play. Just smash that like button real quick for me if you can. Hit subscribe if you have not already. Let's go ahead and get over there and get into the mix. First play I'm going to be looking at is Rakia Jackson. Her three-pointers over 1.5 made. Sitting at -145 on no vig. They just keep giving it to us over 1.5, right? It's getting more and more juiced. They just keep putting that number at 1.5, and she just keeps crushing it, right? We can see down here on the year, 53%, 17 out of 32. A lot more red there at the beginning of the year, right, though? Look at that, man. All that green. We can see, look at her in her last 5, 100% hit rate, averaging 3.5 threes per game, right? Push it back a little bit further. Her last 10 games, still averaging 3 made threes per game, a 100% hit rate over those last 10 games. Now, let's kick it back real quick and look at those last 5, and her three-point shooting percentage sitting at 53%, guys, right? Attempting almost 7 threes a game and hitting 3.5 of them. So just, man, just shooting the lights out, just really, really, really shooting the ball well. And for a good bit of time, right? Like I said, there's a lot of consistency here. It's not like it's just some like recent stretch. Even push it back even to the last 20, even, and we're still hitting at a 65% rate, 13 of those 20 games. So, really good numbers across the board. You look at her head to head against these Mystics as well. These are last season, but then this year, 2 out of 3 as well. 4 made threes, 3 made threes in the last 2 games against these Mystics, shooting 46% over these 6 games. That's including last year as well. 43% in the last one, 50% in the game prior to that. Now you look over here at Washington's three-point defense. They're sitting at 5th for three-pointers made allowed, right? Against that forward position, they are down to 3rd from last, sitting at 11th. They're just 8th for three-pointers allowed in their last 5 games. They're giving up the 4th highest shooting percentage from deep as well. So this one looks like a good look, man. Like I said, she's just been hot. Why would we go against this trend and go against how well she's been shooting the ball right now? Going up against the Washington defense that's been struggling along the perimeter as well. So Rakia Jackson, three-pointers over 1.5 at -145 at no vig. That's my first play of the day. And the second play I'd be looking at is going to be Derek Hamby of the Sparks for points and assists over 20.5. We can get that at -115 over there at Hard Rock right now. If we look at her on the year, she's hit this at a 54% rate, 20 of the 37 games, averaging 21.16 points and assists. So just getting up and over that mark right on average on the year. If we look at her in her last 5, we can see that she's averaging 22.4, hitting this at a 60% rate. She is shooting the ball extremely well, right? 59% from the field, 50% from deep over the course of these last 5 games. Now, if you see her in her last 10 as well, also still shooting the ball extremely well, 61%. Now, she doesn't shoot a ton of threes, right? Only 30% in her last 10, only attempting 1 3 a game. But from the field, shooting at a 61% rate over the course of her last 10 games. And then if we look at her head-to-head against these Mystics as well, 5 of the last 6 games she has gone up and over this mark. And this is this season, these last 3, right? We're looking for her to get 21. She's hit at 30, 27, and 33 so far against these Mystics. Washington is giving up the 3rd most assists as well over their last 5 games, which helps us out here. We can see that on the year, they're sitting at 2nd in terms of assists allowed to that forward position. They are 8th on the year in terms of points allowed to that forward position. But yeah, like I said, over their last 5 games, they've been giving up the 3rd most assists overall. So I like this one as well. This is going to be my second play. Derek Hamby or points and assists over 20.5. Now, if that line is scaring you a little bit, you can take that alternate at 19.5. You're just going to pay a little bit more juice, right? Minus 155 over there at DraftKings. Third and final play I'd be looking at on the day, the Golden State Valkyries taking on the Indiana Fever. I like the Valkyries with the points here at home, man. This is the 8:30 p.m. tip-off time for this one. We're catching 2.5 points here with the Valkyries at home. Now, look at Golden State in their last 10 games. Let's look at them strictly at home. They've hit this mark, covered this 2.5 point line. 70% of those games. You look at the Fever on the road, they've only covered that at a 40% rate. Head to head, let's flip that back to all games. We can see, obviously, the Valkyries, man, they have taken it to the Fever so far this year. They beat them by 19 that last time out. They beat them by 11 the first time. So they covered as dogs in both of those games, covered as a double-digit dog there in that first one at home. If we look at Golden State over their last 10 games, guys, I mean, look, they're 6-4 in their last 10, right? 6-3-1 to the number. So covering at a very good rate, obviously. And those 4 losses, man, I'm not holding that against them. You lost at Phoenix, you lost to Phoenix back-to-back games, right? The Mercury are a very good team. We see them at the top of the standings, as well as the Atlanta Dream right here, as well as the Las Vegas Aces. So, and they only lost by 6 to the Aces here, man. It's like they're losing to good teams, and then they're beating the teams they should beat, man. You know what I mean? They whooped up on the Sparks, they whooped up on the Sun right here. They beat the Mystics, they whooped up on the Sky in Chicago. You know what I mean? They beat the Dallas Wings here by 9, and then they're coming off a huge blowout win over the Mystics. So, and it is a back-to-back for the Valkyries, so that has to be noted here. This is probably the biggest reason why the Fever are, listed as favorites here, expecting a potential letdown from the Valkyries, and then being on that back-to-back because I think that they've been playing better basketball overall. You can see it in the numbers. The Fever, they've won just 4 of their last 10. They've covered in just 3 of those last 10, right? And then they're coming off of a 1-point win over the Sparks. That was a close game, a hard-fought game. So I don't know, man. I see a potential letdown for them in this spot, personally. You look at these two in their last 5. The Valkyries are sitting at 3rd for offensive rating. The Fever are sitting at 2nd. Valkyries are 1st for defensive rating at home this year. The Fever, they're 9th for offensive rating on the road. They're only 6th defensively. Indiana, they're scoring the highest percentage of their points from the paint in the W over their last 5 games. The Valkyries, they're scoring the highest percentage of points from three-point land. Now, Golden State, they're giving up the 2nd fewest points from the paint. Indiana, on the other hand, they're allowing the 3rd highest percentage from beyond the arc. So I like the Valkyries to at least keep this one close at home. But I think they have a real shot at taking their 3rd in a row over the Fever, man, and just winning this thing outright. Both these teams are playing for playoff seeding, right? So this game is important to both of them. And that Golden State home crowd is just nothing to be messed with, man, right? It's not to be underestimated at all. So I think they show up, and I think the Valkyries show up as well. So like I said, I think they have a good shot at winning this one outright. But nonetheless, man, Indiana, they're 9-11 against the spread when playing on the road. Golden State, they're sitting at 12-5-1 to the number at home. So give me the Valkyries, man, as a home dog with the points in this one. They've already shown us twice that they can win, cover these lines as a dog against the Fever and win outright as well. So I'm going to roll with them one more time here. And that is going to do it, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Hope you found the content helpful and useful. And if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you have not already. And that will do it, man. Hope you guys all have a good Sunday and cash out. I'll see you back tomorrow for the next one.